What's going on, guys? It's Fight Season MMA, and today I want to make a video talking about Umar Nurmagomedov and his shot to become the greatest UFC bantamweight of all time. Currently, the greatest UFC bantamweight is either Dominic Cruz or Aljamain Sterling, and Umar Nurmagomedov is currently the #1 contender under Sean O'Malley and Merab Dvalishvili, fighting for the UFC bantamweight title at the UFC Sphere card at UFC 306. So Umar Nurmagomedov is going to get that shot next, and why I truly believe that he has the ability to be one of the best UFC mixed martial artists of all time, and possibly the greatest UFC bantamweight in the organization has ever seen. If you guys enjoy the content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That is the best way to show support their channel, and 97.2% of my viewers who watch my videos are not subscribed, so please go down there and hit that subscribe button. That 100% helps as much as you possibly can to help support and show that you guys like the content. Also, turn on post notifications just so you guys don't miss any UFC content dropping very soon. Now, let's jump right into the video of why I believe Umar Nurmagomedov has the chance to become one of the best UFC mixed martial artists of all time and the greatest UFC bantamweight in that division. So we all know Umar Nurmagomedov just beat Corey Sandhagen at UFC Abu Dhabi in that main event this past weekend in a very impressive performance. I had to fight 48-47 to Umar Nurmagomedov, and truly, I think Umar proved a lot of people wrong. Corey Sandhagen, in my opinion, is one of the hardest UFC bantamweights to fight because of how well-rounded he was. Corey was doing an amazing job holding the takedown defense and doing everything he needed, but Umar went in there and bulldozed Corey Sandhagen in all the other categories. The one thing that I think that really helps Umar Nurmagomedov is everyone just thinks he's a wrestler, but he actually came from a Taekwondo background previously before stepping into the UFC organization. But why do I say that Umar Nurmagomedov has the chances to become one of the best UFC bantamweights of all time? And I think there's a couple reasons to do so. One, I think Umar Nurmagomedov's style is a very hard style to deal with inside any division inside the UFC because he is so well-rounded. A lot of these guys who are strikers first and then go to Dagestan are super dominant fighters, or even the other way around. But I think that being a striker to then going to Dagestan is a very dominant performance idea that could possibly happen. We all know Umar Nurmagomedov practiced Taekwondo, and that's what he trained in mainly prior to going with Khabib Nurmagomedov. I think his uncle over in Dagestan to work his wrestling. He is being trained every single day by the greatest UFC wrestler the organization has ever seen, minus someone like John Jones, but Khabib has the greatest wrestling sambo combo the organization has seen. And truly, I think that this is helping Umar Nurmagomedov on the daily basis just because he is training and drilling with someone like Khabib Nurmagomedov to get the absolute best out of him in every single situation. He's got that corner with him, and I think that style, being a Taekwondo style first where it's in your roots, to then it being embedded every single day in the Sambo is going to make a very balanced style because he's always going to remember his Taekwondo, but he's training Sambo and wrestling with the best mixed martial artists on the planet. And the second reason that I believe that I think Umar Nurmagomedov is going to be able to be one of the greatest UFC bantamweights is there's only one fighter in the UFC bantamweight division that I think has a shot at beating Umar Nurmagomedov, and that is Sean O'Malley. I don't see a fight with any other grappler going the way that, going in their favor because someone like Merab Dvalishvili would get outstruck, and I do think that Umar Nurmagomedov would be able to defend the takedown and do whatever he needed to, but Sean O'Malley's striking is so precise, and I think his takedown defense is good enough to where he can be able to stand on the feet. Corey Sandhagen's striking is a little bit different than O'Malley's. Corey Sandhagen doesn't throw as much feints. He kind of is there to be hit, and I do think that his takedown defense is going to be better than O'Malley's. But I think the thing with Sean O'Malley is that he has such precision, and he has so good feints, and he's going to be able to prepare for different takedowns coming his way and different strikes from Umar coming his way, that I think that is going to be a fight to where Sean O'Malley could 100% win, and I might even have Sean O'Malley as the favorite against someone like Umar Nurmagomedov, because Umar needs to extend one time, and Sean O'Malley will throw that knee up the pipe, and Sean O'Malley will do a lot of different things. You look at that knee that Sean O'Malley hit Chito Vera with, and I thought Chito Vera's face was broken in half, but it definitely was not. But Sean O'Malley is a very intelligent fighter, even, barring a report of anything else. Sean O'Malley is incredibly intelligent, and I think he's going to get this win over someone like Merab Dvalishvili, and I think that Umar is going to have to run through Sean O'Malley to get that title, which I think is a very hard fight for him to do. But since Umar is in that camp with Khabib Nurmagomedov and that entire team over there, at Eagle MMA in Dagestan, Russia. I do think that Umar is going to have the correct support needed to go and get this title. I think they just drill greatness over there, and I think that that is some of the hardest camps in the UFC ever, that in the UFC training room. You look up Bilal Muhammad, who was trained over there with the Khabib team, and he is now the UFC welterweight champion. Those that Sean Brady fight, that Gilbert Burns fight, and the Leon Edwards fight were all impressive. Now, the Gilbert Burns fight was a little bit different just because Gilbert Burns hurt his shoulder in the first round, but Bilal Muhammad did win most of those rounds right there. But I do have to say that Khabib's team is 100% drilling greatness all the time, and I think if you're Umar, being surrounded by that constantly is something that is always going to help you get through the next day and be able to fight the greatest competition in the sport. Ultimately, I just think that the UFC bantamweight division is stacked, but Umar's style stacks up against a lot of these really good strikers inside that bantamweight division. I think the really good strikers with takedown defense are going to be the only people to really defeat Umar, because the wrestlers and grapplers are going to have to go in there and strike with Umar first, and I think that striking advantage is going to be the key difference, considering that Umar has great takedown defense, and Umar's a great grappler, to where someone like Sean O'Malley, who's a little bit different than him, who is a better striker than Umar Nurmagomedov, or someone like Chito Vera, who has one-punch knockout power to really test that chin of Umar. Now, I'm not saying that Chito just wouldn't get taken down immediately, because that's a great possibility, but someone like Davis Figueiredo could be a hard matchup from Umar Nurmagomedov. Someone like Peter Yan could be a very hard matchup for Umar Nurmagomedov, but someone like Merab Davishvili, Henry Cejudo, one of those grapplers, is going to be a very favorable matchup in the stance from Umar Nurmagomedov. But I do think the fight with Sean O'Malley is going to be a very interesting fight, and I do think that Umar, if he beats Sean O'Malley, has all the skills and all the tools to hold that bantamweight title forever and possibly become one of the greatest UFC mixed martial artists of all time, carrying on the legacy of the Nurmagomedov name right under his uncle Khabib Nurmagomedov, and continue the greatness in that Eagle MMA gym. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fights is MMA, and please let me know what you think about this take that Umar Nurmagomedov has all the accessibility and all the tangibles and intangibles to become the greatest UFC bantamweight of all time. Like I said, I think that fight with Sean O'Malley is easily the hardest fight for Umar Nurmagomedov in that bantamweight division. I think that Sean O'Malley is such a good striker. I think his IQ is so high, and I think he knows the danger on going to the ground with Umar Nurmagomedov. It's a lot like the Aljamain Sterling fight, where Umar, if he takes Sean O'Malley down, that's a place where Sean O'Malley doesn't want to be. So I think he understands the dangers of staying on the ground. But on the flip side, Umar is a great striker too. So I think that would be an amazing chess match to go watch. Thank you guys so much for watching the UFC content, and please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Please help me reach 1,000 subscribers, and the only way to do that is subscribing. It is free, and that is something that I hope you guys would really consider doing, just so you guys could stay updated with the latest MMA content and news. Also, while you're down there, please turn on the post notifications, just so you guys are always there to be able to receive and watch the latest MMA content and news that I post daily. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fight Season MMA, and please comment down below what you think about this take about Umar Nurmagomedov, and I will catch you guys very soon with more UFC content and news.